So she's going to be recording it from her end. So if I can just get everybody to make sure you have yourself on mute, please, just before we start, just so we don't have any background noise or anything like that. Okay, so we're good to go. I have the word. So good evening, everybody. My name is Rebecca McQuilty. I am a brand new Pro 5 here in Brisbane, Queensland, and I will be doing your training tonight as Charlotte is unavailable for Team Heart United. So just a few things to go through before we get into training tonight. So that's me there. That's myself and my beautiful little family. That is my husband Ryan and my beautiful little girl Addison. She's 3.5, almost 4. And as I say, we live on the south side of Brisbane. Have been with LifeVantage now for almost 12 months, I think it's going on now. So, and having an absolutely amazing journey along the way. So hopefully tonight I'll be able to share with you some of my knowledge. Before I had my daughter, I worked in corporate world as a national sales trainer and presenter. So that was all good fun, but yeah, so settled down, have my little family, and that's them now. Time goes really quick. I can't believe she's almost 4. Okay, so just a few notes that we're going to go through tonight. So first of all, I just wanted to welcome you all and thank you for coming on to training. And we're so pleased, obviously, to have everybody here. It's so important to be a part of the training, and it doesn't matter how many times you can hear things, even if they're repeated, you will always learn something. So I hope tonight on tonight's training, you really will take a lot away from it. So just to give you a little bit of feedback from July, July was an absolutely incredible month for our team. So we closed July on 135,592. So well done to each and every one of you, because it's not just one person who grows a business. It takes an absolute team effort. So to have 15% growth in 1 month is just absolutely incredible. So congratulations to each and every one of you. So 263 new customer enrollments and 40 new distributors. I remember the first meeting that I ever went to, there was only 40 people in the entire room. So to have 40 new distributors to come on in the month of July is absolutely sensational. So congratulations to all of you. So in other news, I'm just going to try and move my screen across a little bit. Okay. So upgrade packs. So if you're wanting to upgrade your pack, if you could please send an email through for the moment, just until it does become available in your back office, which will happen in the next few weeks. But in the meantime, by just emailing Charlotte at charlotteventer.com, just until that does become available. So if you need to just jot down Charlotte's email address there. Also too, that packs will include silver to platinum and gold to platinum as well. And the difference in the price is to be paid, and you will receive the difference in the product as well. So if you do have any retail customer that needs to be converted to a preferred customer, please contact customer service, as they can now actually do that for you, which is fabulous. And also too, for a customer to qualify for referral points, they must have a minimum of the 40 points in volume for themselves in their order, but it does not have to be on an auto ship. So that's just to clarify that little point as well. Oh, here we go. Okay. So we've been talking to some of our top leaders over in the US as well in Team Heart, and they've actually interviewed the top teams that are in their actual team, so within their team, and have actually come up with some of the top 3 points that each member in that team was actually doing. So we really wanted to share that with you and talk about how they're actually excelling. So the first, and this came from Rachel and Tara. So distributors attending all events, and that's really important. So any event that becomes available in your city, oh, sorry, I just went forward one. Sorry about that. in your city, please make sure that you really are getting to all of those events and supporting those events as well. Number 2, teach one a month. So Charlotte will actually be doing that next week in training and really going into a lot more detail about that. But in the meantime, she has asked if you can please go to www.teamheart.net/one a month. And if you get to do that before next week's training, that would be amazing, just so that you can watch that video, and then she will actually expand on that then as well. And the interesting point of what they actually found as well is that all of the team members actually led in with Protandim, with the NRF2 product. Because it is our flagship product and people are coming in on those reoccurring orders, that's really where we want to be focusing on getting people in. They found that any of the team members over in the US who are actually coming in and bringing people in on physique and other products that we don't have here yet, the sustainability wasn't there. So this is a product that will create long-term security for your business because of obviously the high retention rate that it does have with it as well. So it's good to know that we're doing the right thing here in Australia. So there's a couple of upcoming events as well. So Melbourne, this is actually going to be held by Michaela, Honey and Paula. And the event is on Tuesday, the 15th of August. So please mark that in your diary. If you're not in Melbourne yourself, please definitely get anybody that you know that is in Melbourne to attend the event. So Honey actually works with elite athletes and presents the products, and she'll actually show you not only the benefits of how you could be talking to people, but getting the product into their bodies as well. And Paula's a PT of 20 years plus. So there's definitely going to be a lot of experience in the room that night. So anybody that you can get, that you know in Melbourne, that you can get to the event would be amazing. I know that the Sunshine Coast event tonight, they had to actually bring in extra chairs. So they're doing an incredible job up there on the Sunshine Coast. I'm sure Melbourne will be the same. Okay, and more upcoming events. So Brisbane and Sydney. So Brisbane will be, and Sydney will be the Wednesday, the 23rd of August. But also check out the LifeVantage Australia events page for more information, and you can actually RSVP to those events and find out where they are and what times, etc. there. Please also remember to book your tickets for the Tara Wilson event. That is absolutely going to be incredible. It's probably going to be another good 18 months to 2 years before we even get Tara back into the country. So please do everything you possibly can to get to this event. If you've ever seen Tara train, even on, on Facebook or YouTube, to see her in person is just going to be incredible. So she's in Brisbane the Friday, the 1st of September, Saturday in Sydney on the 2nd, and she's in Melbourne on Monday, the 4th of September. So they were talking about really encouraging people from Perth. Unfortunately, she won't be getting to Perth, but if you can get to Melbourne, I know that there's quite a few people who will be traveling to Melbourne. So you might be able to room share just to save on the cost there as well. But if you really can get to that event, I really think that it would really push your business forward. So Tara Wilson is just incredible. And some great news for everybody. The tru-science special, which has just gone incredibly here in Australia for the month of July, has actually been extended, so which is really, really exciting news. So all the way until the 31st of August, we have this awesome special for the entire skincare range from steps 1 to 4 for $189, including GST, with free shipping as well. And just a reminder, you do get 125 volume points for that pack. Also too, this is our customer group, the Activate Revolution, so Regenerate Your Health. So just a reminder that are you adding your prospects and also your new customers and distributors to this page? And really, it's important to be interacting on there as well. Posting information and pictures and just really getting that group going and getting the vibe into it. I think it's a fabulous idea, and it's really important that you know, we all get behind it and that we all participate in it as well. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about increasing your database and setting your goals. I just wanted to check in and see if there was any questions so far. No? Okay, beautiful. If everybody has their pen and paper ready, please feel free to take some notes along the way. We're going to be talking about not just your database and how to increase your database tonight, but we're also going to be talking about how you can set some goals for the coming month of now that we're into August. Okay, so let's talk about working your database. So firstly, I know this sounds really silly, but please ensure you actually have a database. That's the most simple thing we can have to start our business. It's actually the very first thing we should ever do. And that's a matter of writing down all of the names we can possibly think of. And we'll go through a few memory joggers really shortly as well. But as basic as that sounds, please make sure you do actually have a database that you actually work off as well. And ensure that your database is up to date. Make sure that you're always updating that and adding new names to the database, taking off, not just taking off names that you may have lost contact of or whatever the case may be, but just making sure that you're adding names to it constantly. And when you are adding names to your database, please, please, please do not ever judge whether somebody will or will not buy the product or what they do and do not need. Sometimes you just don't know what someone's going through. They might be a friend or someone at the gym that you know, and you may not know them very well, but in conversation you might find out that they actually have arthritis or they have problems with their knees or joint issues, whatever the case may be, or they might just be in pain, or you just never know what someone is going through. So please don't ever prejudge. Any name that you can think of, please write it on your list, because only those people can decide whether the product is or isn't for them. And also too, think outside the box. Who else could you get to know or contact? Ask people for referrals. Even your customers that you do have, ask them who they know. So I like to say, who do you know, who do you know, who do you know? That's always the question. And if it's, you're running out of people of who you know, well, who do they know? And always, always ask for referrals, and especially from your customers who are having incredible results on the product. Let's talk to them and get some of their contacts as well. So this is actually from the blueprint. So I'm not sure if everybody has seen the blueprint or has received it. Most of you will have received that in your starter pack when you came on as a distributor. So the blueprint is a really important document to follow, and it goes through so much information. Part of that information in that booklet is your database list. And as it says here, it really is the lifeblood of your business. So this is where in that book you can actually write down all of the names, the phone numbers, emails, etc. of your database people. I'm a very visual person, so I actually write down every single month. I start with a whole new list. So that might sound a little bit time consuming, but to be honest with you, it's the people who I've spoken to. I'm not sure if you can see that, but the people I have spoken to already this month, the fact that I've contacted them, whether it's a yes or no, and then what the result is. And that changes every single month. I've got my standard database list that always is growing. That's my big list. But then I have a month-to-month list that I actually write out as well. So this is just a memory jogger. So who do you know in business? Your friends, your community. You even look at in your community, people at the local gym, real estate agents, people in the local restaurants, travel agents. You could go walking through a shopping center. Even if you only have an hour spare, you could go walking through the shopping center and have a really great conversation with a couple of travel agents or, people in a restaurant, your accountant, the hairdresser, the local barber, your children's teachers, Tradespeople, anyone that you know that's a tradesperson. I know there's a cleaner who cleans for one of our offices, and his wife recently had a baby and she doesn't want to go back to work because he works so hard in their conventional business. She's looking for another opportunity, and it's purely by me having that conversation with him of what I do that he's actually now open to that idea. Family can sometimes be a bit of a tough one, you know. If your family, you know, turn the idea away, I just tend to leave family alone a little bit sometimes. You know, I always offer it to them, and I'll come back to them and talk to them about it from time to time. But definitely, my job is purely to offer them and show them what I have. School friends, people from school, former teachers, work, etc. There's an entire list there. So please go through those when you get some time. And if you go through those lists of who you actually know, people will really start coming to your mind. You'd be surprised who you actually think of, who you maybe haven't seen for a while. When I'm writing my list, I always go back through my phone and I start from A and I go all the way through. And I also go through my entire Facebook as well, right from the person at the beginning, right, I think there's got about 500 or 600 friends on there. Every single one of them I go through and say, you know, have I contacted? Am I due to recontact them? And it really is just a matter of keeping on top of it. Okay, so what we're going to do now is actually talk about some goals for the month of August, and that's really incorporating your database into your goal setting as well. So we always like to say that a goal really is only a dream if it's not written down. So if you're not in the habit of writing your goals out every single week and month, you can even have daily goals. That's a great way to break it down as well. But at least please always have monthly goals. And as you can see here, they need to be specific. They need to be measurable. They need to be attainable. They need to be relevant, and they need to be time bound. So writing out what you want to achieve for the month of August. You know, what rank would you like to be by the end of August? So just take a couple of moments. Everybody's got their pen and paper. Please write that down now. Let's write it down. Commit to what do you want to see by the end of the month. I have a little reminder on my mobile phone. My alarm goes off at 9 a.m. every single morning. And it says, and this was from last month, congratulations, Rebecca, you are now Pro 5. And I was like, great. Can you imagine how incredible that felt that next morning when I woke up? And I actually was. It was just the most unbelievable feeling. So setting yourself little reminders like that, of what rank you would like to achieve, and then breaking it down into the actual volume. I go as far as to breaking it into how many legs you have within your business, as to how much volume you're needing on each of those legs to attain that rank. And then what do I need to be able to achieve that? And if you have a vision board, definitely update your vision board. If you don't have Bahamas on there, and that's one of your goals, is to reach the next incentive, we still have so much time to qualify for that trip. Please print out a picture of the Atlantis, the beautiful resort over in the Bahamas that we'll be going to. I even go as far as writing out a congratulations letter to myself. Congratulations, Rebecca McQuilty, you have qualified for Bahamas Incentive Trip 2018. And I actually have it next to my bed with a picture of all of the Bahamas pictures. I have quite a lot on my vision board actually, including health goals and family goals and trips that we want to do, homes that we want to buy, etc., etc. And I see that every single morning that I wake up. So it's something that I actually wake up in the morning, I look at my wall with all of my vision board on there, and I sit there and I just let it sink in. And I see it that it's going to happen. It really needs to be a goal that you can see physically happening. So I truly believe within my heart of hearts that I can make the Bahamas. So don't ever put something on your vision board that you don't really want to strive for and that you're not really willing to work for. But believe me, you can achieve whatever you want to if you just set your mind and your steps to it. You know, step it out, put it in steps, and every time you achieve one, you're one step closer to the end goal. So what are your goals for August? You know, what rank do you want to hit? What's your volume? Who are you going to work with? Who in your team is working that needs your help? How many launches can you do, or how many events can you get to in the month of August? So this is where we talk a little bit about how you're going to get there. So based on the goal that you have set, what are you going to do, or what's it going to take for you to achieve it? So I would add a minimum of 5 to 10 names every week or so to your database list. Commit to recontacting or reconnecting and contacting with how many people in 1 week. So in the chat that we have, I don't know if you can all see the chat box there, but I'd really like everyone just to participate now and jot a number down. Pop it in that chat box. How many people can you connect with or reconnect with in this week coming? Let's see what everyone's got. I just need to find the chat box. Okay. All right, let's see, let's do it. 50, awesome. 20, fabulous. I remember saying to one of my team, I actually said to her, right, you need to talk to 50 people in this week. Now, it doesn't have to mean 50 presentations. It just means reconnecting with them. It might be, hey, how you going? Haven't spoken to you for a while. It could be on Facebook and saying, oh, I just saw your fabulous post that you've just been to New Zealand. How was your trip? I've always wanted to go there. Tell me about it. And just getting that conversation started. You know, what have you been up to? And of course, they're going to say to you, what have you been up to? And that's when you can lead in definitely with your business. But with one of my distributors that I was talking to, I said, right, 50 people in a week. And she came back to me at the end of the week and I said, how many people did you connect with? And she said, I only connected with 30 people. I said, 30 people? That's amazing. That's absolutely incredible. I said, how many more is that than last week? And she went, 30. So to be able to connect with so many people in such a short time, but what that did is really set momentum going. You know, you start these conversations. You know, if you've got 2 or 3 or 4 customers just out of that in 1 week, that's setting up your 10 customers a month. Or it's at least, you know, you might not get anything out of that in that 1 week, but you've started that momentum. And the more you do that, and you do that every single week, I promise you, it all comes to fruition. I've done that for an entire month and had almost nothing. I promise you, not a thing come of it. I thought, oh, maybe I'm doing the wrong thing, or the next thing you know, I just get customer after customer after customer sending me messages. Hey, Beck, you know, I'm ready now. Can you please order me that product? So I promise you, if you're doing the action, the result will absolutely come. So that's really cool. Thank you so much for participating in that. There's lots of different numbers there, lots of 50s, lots of 40s, some 30s and some 20s, and that's incredible. Please absolutely commit to yourself and to do that. And for those of you who have written a number down, maybe write out 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 boxes and tick them off every single time. I'm a very visual person. I like to make sure that I know I know where I'm at, and I know how many I've connected with. So maybe do that, you know, tick it off. And when you get to the end of it, you know, be really proud of yourself for the efforts that you're putting in as well. Okay, so even one thing I forgot to mention before, when you're talking to somebody on Facebook, keeping in mind when people's birthdays are coming up as well, and sending them not just posting to their wall, but also too sending them a private message and saying, hey, you know, happy birthday, I hope you have a really wonderful day, and just get a conversation going that way, because that can really start, you know, well, what are you up to for your birthday? What did you get? Start having a conversation. And no, you don't need to know them. You know, Facebook really is just the most incredible tool. I've connected with so many people around the world that need this product, and I've never met them before. But, you know, the more we build rapport with people, the more conversations that we have, the more people will trust you. And the reality of it is they don't even need to trust us, because we have the science, we have everything there that we need, which is so incredible. That's why I love this product so much. Or it might be following up a lead that you have already previously connected with, as we went on before. But your blueprint, please also note that you do have suggested scripts, and we also have those on teamheart.net. So if that's something that you're needing a little bit of guidance on, please speak to the person who brought you in as a distributor, but also to know that those tools are actually there for you as well. I'm just going to check what this chat says. Okay. All right, awesome. Good. Okay, so I hope everyone's keeping up here, and I'm giving you a few ideas to take away with you tonight. Here is the most basic spreadsheet you will ever see in your life, which shows you how completely computer illiterate I am, but it works for me, right? So you got to do what works for you. And I'm happy to send this to any of you that are wanting it. As I say, I usually write it out in my book, but I also have my goal for the month. So August 2017, Pro 5. Now I know that Pro 5 is 20,000, but I'm stretching it this month and I want to hit it to 25. And so I write the name of the person, when I've contacted them, or if it's a reconnect as well, invited them to an op meeting. That's really important too. So if it's somebody that you're looking at presenting the business to, or even just a customer who's just not, you know, just might need that second or third validation, invite them along, let them know. There'll be somebody there that will explain the product probably in a different way to what you have. And sometimes that's absolutely what people need, is that second or third validation. And then what the result is. And I found that really helpful. You know, as I showed you before, I generally write it in my book, but that is another tool that I use as well. Very basic, I know, but it's, as I say, I'm very visual, so it works for me. So let's go back just to the skincare for a moment. If you set yourself a goal in August to sell 10 skincare packs, that's 1,250 points of volume to you in your business for this month, not to mention all of the commissions that go with that too. So that's something to maybe just set yourself a little goal of. You know, have a couple of little, you know, clinics here and there, or little skincare workshops where you can introduce people to these incredible products, because honestly, my skin has never felt better since I've used many different products over the years, and some really expensive products too. So for this entire skincare set to be under $200 delivered really is incredible. So, and the results we are getting are just mind-blowing. I'm sure you've seen some of the before and after photos. They really are incredible. So imagine that, 10 skincare packs for the month, and you've increased your volume by 1,250 points. That's really awesome. And last but not least, this is just something that I found that I absolutely love. I believe anything is possible. I see opportunity when others see impossibility. I take risks. I'm focused. I hustle. I know that nothing is unrealistic. I feel overwhelming love. I embrace my childlike wonder and curiosity. I take flying leaps into the unknown. I contribute to something bigger than myself. I create, I learn, I grow, I do. I believe it's never too late to start living a dream. I am an entrepreneur. So I hope that you enjoyed that training, guys. That's it from me, but I'll open up the forum now to anybody who has any questions, or anyone. I'll also have a look in the chat and make sure that I answer any questions that you may have here. But please, you know, shout out and let me know if, you know, writing down your goals will absolutely help you for any month. You know, every single month, it's so important to sit down and really nut out what you want to achieve. There's no point in, I always used to use the analogy, I don't know why, but driving from Brisbane to Newcastle. You know, if I drive from Brisbane to Newcastle, I hop in my car and I just drive. It's going to take me a really long time to find it if there's no signs and I don't have a GPS. But if I know where I'm going and I have that direction, you know, I have my GPS and I have my signs along the way, you will get there. I absolutely promise you, you will, providing you follow the steps that you need to take. So if anybody has any questions, please shout out.
Beck?
Yeah.
It's Angie. Sorry, I apologise about my voice. Just at the beginning of the meeting, you said about the teamheart.net one a month. Was just so that I've got the address correct, it's teamheart.net/one a month.
Let me just scoot it back. Right. So yeah, www.teamheart.net/one a month.
Brilliant. And thank you so much. Your training was awesome tonight.
No worries. My absolute pleasure. Any other questions? No? All good? Well, I like to keep it short and sweet, and you know, we probably finished a little bit early, so I'd love for you guys to go and take that opportunity to really sit down, and if you haven't really knotted out your goals for this month, please do that. You know, sit down and go, okay, well, you know, if I've committed to contacting 20, 30, 40, 50 extra people this week, you know, who is that going to be? Start writing your list and tick them off as you go. Honestly, there's no better feeling than that feeling of accomplishment. And, you know, the more you do that, the more habit it will become. And that really does just set that momentum going for you. And that's when you start getting the results. And then you'll get a customer on, and that makes you feel good. And then you'll start contacting more people. So it really is a positive cycle to be in. So I'll just check in just one more time if anybody has any more questions before we log off. I'll just stop sharing my screen just for a minute. No? Awesome. Well, you're all a quiet bunch today. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining me, and I really appreciate you logging on tonight and taking the time out of your nights. And please do sit down and you know, nut out those, and maybe even let's post them into the Team Heart United page. How about that? Let's jot down what our goals are for August and what we're wanting to achieve. And if I can help anybody to, you know, with advice or anything that you're needing, please shout out. I'm always here to help. So it takes a team to absolutely reach our goals. It's not just one person. So I really appreciate you all coming on tonight. And until next week, have a great week, guys.